What's up, guys? I hope that you guys are having a beautiful Monday. It is gorgeous outside. I just wanted to give you guys a little encouragement today. As I was thinking about karmic cycles and patterns of behavior that I dealt with people, and along my spiritual awakening journey in the initial stages, when the universe started to remove people out of my energy field that did not vibrate on the frequency that I was on, I realized that all of my relationships that I had with close proximity individuals who were very narcissistic and overly narcissistic in their personality traits, I had to see their darkness first. And then I had to go within myself and understand their darkness. When the universe started to energetically detach me from those connections, I had to go through my karmic cycle clearing. I had to clear those energies that were within myself that kept attracting, that kept bringing these types of energies into my life through people. Now, the people pleasing, the wanting to save everybody, knowing that they full of shit, knowing that they're toxic as hell and they're not trying to heal, they're not trying to change, they're not trying to be better. They're only looking for new opportunities. And I was one of those opportunities all the time. What the universe does, since knowing that we all have to clear karma, what the universe does is the universe removes those people out of your life and allows them to start going through their own karmic clearing. What happens is, and they don't understand it, they understand it later on if they choose to pay attention to the downloads and the signs that the universe continuously gives them. That's if they choose to. Most of them don't choose to because they're too overly narcissistic and they're stuck. They're maladaptive in those behaviors. They'll modify them, but the default setting of who they are is always there. They always revert back to it because they don't want to feel those uncomfortable feelings and emotions that they have associated with the shit that they do to people. The universe will have them go to people who embody the same energy that they have, and they'll start experiencing karma through those situations. So all the shit that they did to you, people start doing it to them in hopes that it'll hit them in their consciousness so that they can hit them in their subconscious. So they'll bring it up into their conscious mind and then transmute that energy so it can be their new default program. When you, who was the person who was on the end of the stick that was getting the abuse, so you think it was really a part of your spiritual growth. What it does is, because I know I'm light, I incarnated here as light. I incarnated here as light. So when I deal with people, I deal with them from a light perspective, knowing that they have darkness. See, I had to go deep within to understand their darkness. Not saying that I'm staying where that is, but it was for me to learn about the darkness and come back to my original state so I can see that darkness when it comes at me in any individual after that. There's no veil here. I can see the masks. I see through the masks. I don't care what kind of mask anybody tries to wear, I can see through it. Because we all have to take them off. Those who choose not to take off those masks and keep wearing those as defense mechanisms so they won't have to sit with themselves, they're going to keep pulling in situations and circumstances through people to make them start looking at their own bullshit behaviors. So when you start seeing narcissists that you've dealt with connecting with people totally contrary to who you are, it's because those people have karmic lessons to show those narcissists. They have to learn to see themselves through other people. Case in point, I was connected with a narcissist that every time we went anywhere, I had to always pay. I was always the first to pay, initiate. They would never pull out their purse, the wallets, whatever. They would never pull out that stuff to do that. They would always sit and wait on me to do it. And I would do it because that's what I am. That's what I do. But I had to learn to vet individuals who were like that, who were coming to use you as an opportunity. So now when the universe will move this individual out of my energy field, that individual has to be attached now to people who are going to do it to them. So when they see, and they not just seeing it physically, they're going to feel it. And it's not going to feel good to them. And then in their conscious mind, the universe is going to bring that back up to these individuals so they can see your face. That's why I never worry about things that have happened to me when it came through people. Because they always, when those exact situations show up in their life, they're going to think about you. And they're going to realize the bullshit they did to you. Those are karmic lessons that they have to learn. If they choose to embody that new energy that is trying to ground within them, then they can shift their paradigm. If they choose not to embrace that new energy that is trying to ground and change the subconscious programmings within themselves, they're going to keep on perpetuating these same cycles. That's where karmic cycles come from. Generational curses come from, because down the lines, our family members have not adhered to these warnings and signs that were given to them. So those traumas and those curses have been passed down generation through generation. And that's why our children are cursed. That's why we become cursed. But somebody has to break those cycles, guys. That is why I had to awaken when I did, because I'm a curse breaker. And I understand that people I dealt with, I don't regret any of those transactions, any of those connections, because they taught me who I am and what I don't have to accept from people. See, I pulled light into my life. That's why I fuck with Emma the long way. Because there's no time, there's no instance where anytime we go anywhere, this girl is beating me, pulling out my damn wallet. She beat me. Listen, we in there pretty much arguing about who gonna pay for what. I'm light. I pulled in light. Not saying that she doesn't have darkness that she's dealing with, but she's understanding the polarities of the two so people can stop taking advantage of her as well. I pulled her in because the universe knows I am light. Light attracts light. Not saying that I don't attract darkness as well, but when I attract darkness, it's for me to serve karma. It's for me to teach lessons. But when you deal with people through light, then you attract light. And I still teach karmic lessons. I still give lessons. But I understand that all those connections that I had to learn the darkness. And likewise, for the persons who I've connected with, they had to be learned, they had to be taught what the light was. And if they didn't choose that light, they had to be removed from my energy field to go and collaborate with their own darkness so they can see themselves and hopefully traverse through those shadows and accept the light codes and the downloads to balance out that energy and know that if it's not about reciprocity, if it's not about the ebb and flow of life, of equal give and take, and not treating people less than who they are, they'll be stuck in a paradigm where psychosis is going to utterly destroy them. All kind of escapisms. They're going to use people, places, and things to cover up what they truly feel about themselves because they refuse to go in and reflect. You can't treat people any kind of way. Because when those scales come up to have to be balanced, that is something I don't wish on anybody, but I understand that every soul that is incarnated in this 3D reality, we all have to pay up our karmic debts. I wish them light and love, and I hope that they traverse through those overly toxic ways and those narcissistic paradigms that we are no longer in. There's no veil. We see them for who they really are. And I'm just hoping. That's my hope above all things. that we begin to traverse from these dark ass energies, because they don't help anybody. They cause more pain than they do power. Not saying that you don't use that to convert it into positive energy that you can transmute and reflect out into the world and pull back in that which you know you deserve. But don't worry about when you see people that you were connected to in other relationships or connections. They're learning karmic lessons for their own soul growth. Send them light and love, and you keep living your life. Because once you cross over, it's a breath of fresh air. Be blessed, guys. Namaste.